I'm Lieutenant Steve Lappett, and this is Two-Step Flow Theory. The two-step flow theory explains how messages flow in two distinct stages. According to the characterization of the theory in their book, Personal Influence, Elihu Katz and Paul Lazarsfeld's hypothesis states, ideas often flow from radio and print to opinion leaders, and from these to the less active sections of the population. Furthermore, the theory captures how mass media messages, such as those originating from television, radio, and newspapers, influences decision-making by predicting the effect opinion leaders have on their audience. So in other words, two-step flow theory states that media messages flow to opinion leaders, then to the audience, as opposed to one-step flow, which would be from mass media directly to the people. The roots of two-step flow theory could be traced back to 1944, when Paul Lazarsfeld, Bernard Berelson, and Hazel Gaudet introduced the study in a book titled The People's Choice: How the Voter Makes Up His Mind in a Presidential Campaign. The study captured mass media messages and its effect among the people's voting intentions during the presidential election campaign period. The original intent was to find empirical data to support the direct influence that media messages had on people's decision-making process. Instead, surprisingly to the three researchers, they found that the informal personal contacts had better results in affecting people's opinions. According to the study, mass media messages had less influence than informal personal communication on voting behavior. Opinion leaders, peers, and relatives were far more likely to have a direct influence on people's opinions than radio or newspapers. From this data, researchers Katz and Lazarsfeld were able to create the two-step flow theory of mass communication in 1955 with their book Personal Influence. As mentioned before, two-step flow theorizes that media messages flow in two distinct stages. During the first stage, opinion leaders receive information from mass media. These opinion leaders are highly active within the media as they pay close attention to the information provided by the media. Opinion leaders can develop their own interpretation of the information, adding their own personal influence to the message. In the second stage, the opinion leaders then provide their version of the media message to their audience. Opinion leaders generally have more access to mass media messages than their audience, and so by adding their own personal opinion or own personal version of the actual content of the media message, opinion leaders have great influence over the less active users within the population, ultimately having that control to change attitudes and behaviors to align with their own personal worldview. This authority or control of information goes beyond the action of a passive gatekeeper. Opinion leaders in this case can alter or dissect mass media messages, thus controlling the beliefs and ideas of the final receivers, influencing the opinions of the people. Audience members are likely to be influenced by those like-minded, so people choose which opinion leaders to follow, thus affecting how they receive their information. Because this choice exists, the connection between opinion leader and audience is strong. The audience can trust their opinion leader. As you can see, this graphic explains how the theory works. Information from mass media above is delivered to the opinion leaders, in this case the blue nodes. From there, the message is delivered to the people, the audience of the opinion leader, represented by the red nodes. So two-step flow theory still applies today, especially with branding, PR, and social media. The ability to influence a large audience to act is based on the principles of two-step flow theory, especially when brands rely on celebrities, influential figures, bloggers, and social media influencers. Social media platforms such as Twitter provide a venue for opinion leaders to connect with their audience or followers. Another example of two-step flow theory comes from news aggregators. Digital news aggregators provide a venue for people to receive news by pulling directly from numerous media sources. Digg is a news aggregator platform founded in 2004. Its current form was established in July 2012. The website boasts the top stories of what the internet is talking about right now. Content found on the front page of Digg, once selected from users, is now selected by Digg editors. Digg's algorithm selects top stories and current events based upon what users are interested in. In relation to two-step flow, editors act as opinion leaders, deciding what articles appear first on Digg's website. Users who prefer Digg as their main news aggregate are then affected by the choice of articles chosen by Digg's editors. As opinion leaders, Digg's editors pay close attention to media and choose which stories are relevant, displaying them on the front page of the website. For example, at the time of this recording, Bloomberg's report on crash dummies was the top article. The two stages in two-step flow go as follows. Step 1. Digg's editors, acting as opinion leaders, have taken this story from Bloomberg, the media source. Step 2. Digg's editors, acting as opinion leaders, place this as their top story on the Digg website and is now accessible to their audience, the Digg user. Instead of users going directly to mass media, in this case Bloomberg, the flow of information is bypassed by the opinion leader, the Digg editor, before its information reaches the user. There are a few ways Digg could further utilize two-step flow theory for their brand. Like other aggregates, Digg could allow users to customize their feed, much along the lines of aggregates like Feedly. In this form, users have more control of what news they want to hear or read, much like how audience members would be able to choose which opinion leaders to follow. Another potential utilization of two-step flow could focus more on the categorization of news topics. Instead of the entirety of Digg acting as the opinion leader, aggregating subcategories such as tech or politics would then take on the role of specialized opinion leaders. Lastly, Digg could allow users to act as editors. By allowing users to determine their own front page by selecting news that's relevant to them, they could then share their version of the front page to others. That user would then act as the opinion leader to those who followed their version of the front page. In conclusion, two-step flow theory explains how mass media influences people through opinion leaders. Opinion leaders and their version of the mass media message has an effect on people's understanding of information, ultimately influencing the people's decision-making process, opinions, and worldviews.
A two-step, now go to two-step, now go to two-step, now go to two-step.